Hello, I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. I'm out at Latta Nature Preserve in Huntersville, North Carolina today. Been out here before. They have some really great trails, none of which are very long on their own. So today I'm linking 3 or 4 of them to make about 6.5 mile hike. But one of the cool things is that you can often come up to the water, and so you're walking through the woods and along the water. It's pretty awesome. The Latta Nature Preserve has a nature center, and I think it's called Quest, and they have some really cool exhibits in there for kids. Some things that are interactive and some that are just observing, but I know they do classes and things like that in their field trips. So I brought Caden here when he was younger a few times for things like that. Always a good time. So I've seen some pretty cool special events that they have going on. So always fun to see what's out there. And another cool thing is the Carolina Raptor Center is right down the street from where I'm walking right now. And that is a very cool place to visit. So if you're looking up trails for the Latta Nature Preserve, I believe the loop within the Raptor Center comes up as a trail option. So the Nature Preserve is free to visit. You do have to pay an entrance fee for the Raptor Center, but really cool work that they do there. And you can learn lots about how they rescue, rehabilitate, and release raptors, and then just provide care for the ones that cannot be released. So I think it was a couple months ago, I don't remember which raptor it was, but the Raptor Center went down to Crowder's and released one of their raptors that, I don't remember if it was a falcon or what it was, but needless to say, it was pretty exciting to be able to release an injured animal. So, some pretty cool opportunities. So this is a very quiet hike, not very many people here at all right now. I'm guessing it was probably busier earlier today, but it's now the evening, so I'm sure most people have made their way home by now. It's a very clear, defined trail, which is nice. Appreciate the boardwalk over these wet, marshy areas. And I don't see one right now, but Latta Nature Preserve has a permanent orienteering course, and that's always something fun to check out. So we'll see if I see any more posts for it. I've seen 2 already. But orienteering is another great way to get out in the woods. See some water through there. All right, so there's one of the orienteering posts. The half orange, half white square is what designates an orienteering checkpoint. And they're usually the numbers on there, not always. Here, they do seem to have the numbers on there to tell you which one you found. So, good way to practice or learn some compass and map skills. In a lot of ways, a lost art form, lost skill. It's a pretty view out there. This section of the trail is the Catawba Trail, rightfully named along the Catawba. They have some good signage here, so that's helpful. A lot of the trail intersections, they have little maps that show you where you are and what options there are. And then the trails themselves are pretty well identified with the trail markers of different colors or shapes. So some of the trails are multi-use, so depending on what you're looking for, you might need to pay attention to that. But it's definitely a beautiful evening to be out here in nature. I was just reading something by a woman who was just something she had posted, but that's a pretty cool tree. But the woman is a long distance trail runner, so I'm not sure that she still does, but at one point she had the record for running, completing the AT assisted. So she's done lots of different distances like that, but I guess she's been going through a lot in her life and keeps getting out on trails. And so she mentioned that she likes to remain private about things, which most do, but she was encouraging that getting out in nature helps you heal and get through any of those tough things that we all end up going through in life. And I definitely agree. Being out in nature has been one of the best things for me in so many ways. So each time, even if I'm not really wanting to get out at the moment, I'm always grateful that I did, because it's always the same result. Always feel better, feel more rejuvenated, feel more at peace and connected. So it's a good place to be this evening. This section of trail is actually graveled, so very easy walking here. It's nice that they do some trails like this to make it more accessible to people that don't really have an interest in going on the rougher terrain. So we have been challenged with lots of sickness and allergies and not preferred circumstances in a lot of ways recently, and I've been trying to focus on taking a step back to identify what's really going on and really go deeper with the emotions. That's something I've been working on with my son. So I've been trying to put that into practice as well, to go beyond some of the basics and see all of the variety going on at the same time. So this morning, Caleb and I were talking about how we were feeling after dealing with all the sickness and allergies. And so thankfully both physically feeling a lot better. But as I was thinking about it, I was like, well, I'm just feeling like I'm waking up and it's another day. And I want to feel excited about my days. So we talked some more about how that not every day is going to be exciting, but I was talking about how grateful I am for certain things that we do have going for us and how we're making it through those maybe sometimes seemingly mundane days. And that feeling of gratitude and appreciation for that is powerful, and it means something. So no, it's not the, yes, I'm excited for the day, but it's a good thing. So I think that was helpful in taking a step back today, because I wasn't staying focused on the idea of wanting some excitement. A lot of days recently, a lot of plans that we're trying to schedule, a lot of it seems to be just making the best of whatever that situation's going to be. It's not necessarily what my choice would have been, but we're finding ways to make those things a best case scenario. So I think that's a valuable way to try to look at things, to have that glass half full mentality. I think it's pretty cool. This trail section had a sign just back there that there had been a prescribed burn, and it gives the date. So it was almost a year ago. It was April 7th last year. But I think that's such a good idea, because often they do prescribe burns for management and stuff. So, but normally you don't know for sure if it was a prescribed burn or not. And you kind of are curious when they did it. It's neat to see what has happened in the forest since then. It shows how things continue to grow, and some things need the fire to grow more. It's pretty neat. So this is a little detour from what my original route was that I'd planned. It's just a little turn off, a little detour, and we'll go back to the trail. But there was a sign that said washed rock. So I'm not sure if it's just these rocks or if it's because it gets you up to a point, but I figured it's worth checking out while we're here. I do not recall coming to this section before. Makes you feel like you're out on a little island out here. Smart them, they even have a trash can down here. Yeah, so it's just some big rock here. Quite pretty out here. I guess you can walk all the way down there. Pretty cool. Looks like jet skis out on the water this evening. Those little detours in life are kind of what makes life life, I think. And it's what we do with those things that shows who we are and makes us who we are, because that's how we develop our character and find out what we're made of. So the detours are kind of what we've been experiencing in a lot of ways, and even though we'd like to make other plans, we're having to make certain plans for different reasons. And I do find that I keep coming back to the idea of getting out in nature as the best option. This looks cool. Let's see if this looks like it's where a tree stump was, and the new tree started growing there after the other had kind of disintegrated, unless there's something else that happened there. It's pretty cool. So I always go back to the idea though that nature's going to be my best option no matter where I am. So figuring out what the options are out wherever we're going to be is fun to me. I enjoy figuring out and seeing what I can find. Makes it more of an adventure. It's a beautiful overlook. Makes it easy to feel at peace and have gratitude for so many things. It's wild to think about all of this that was burned in a prescribed burn in an effort to prevent forest fires. But it makes you really think about the forest fires going on right now in North and South Carolina. Hoping for some rain to help them out. It's pretty devastating. So this is a section of the nature preserve I haven't been to before. All the way down at the tip, the road ends, but there is a parking area down here for people that just want to drive down here. And there's some paved trail, and then this is the waterfront trail. So I'm not sure. I saw a sign for a fishing pier. I'm not sure if it'll take me to that. But it's fun to check out a different part that I haven't been to before. These are the peaceful moments and steps that bring me to a state of peacefulness, no matter where I've been. So it's not a fishing pier down here, but there's definitely a fisherman. This seems like a good place to fish, nice and quiet. And I can see why it's called the Waterfront Trail. They have several posts with platforms on top for birds to nest, and then they have, I can't tell if they were bird boxes or duck boxes, but they have some bird homes out here, so that's pretty cool. And we're on this little peninsula of land. We can see the water over there, and we can see the water over here, and we're almost to the end, so that's pretty cool. The smell here is slightly swampy, so that's different from the rest of the area. Hadn't noticed that yet. It's so fun to see all the green, the trees growing, and I love the little flowers. There's been definitely some of the purple and some white. That's lots of fun to see. Well, I've been out on this little adventure today. The wind has definitely picked up and the sky has become covered by clouds, so makes it a little more promising for some weather to come in tomorrow. Very Very pretty spot out here. This section reminds me of Lake Norman State Park. So I'll have to head up there again sometime soon. That's always a fun place to visit. Oh, it's so nice out here. It's definitely a great way to regain perspective when you need it. Looks like heron. He's coming down. Landing over on the other side. Saw a couple hawks flying around too. It's pretty cool. The amount of yellow on the top of the water at the edge is pretty incredible. Shows you how much pollen there really is, because that's not the lighter color of that water is not from it being stirred up. That's the pollen sitting on top of it. It's pretty gross. So this trail is called the Audubon Trail. So it'd be pretty cool if it had that name, because there can be a lot of birds viewed. So that may be true certain times of the year. Haven't seen more birds here than the rest of the park that I've been through today, though. Definitely some of those pops of color through there. Lots of fun to see. So yesterday we had one of our plans not go as planned. Ended up being pretty fun because Caden went with me when I went to my water aerobics class, and the plan was for him to swim, but they ended up having fewer lanes available. So some of the swimmers that would normally be spread out in the other building, they were all in the one lane, and he was like, right away, I can't swim with all those other people out there, which I agree. I usually like max 2 per lane. So he went to the gym to swim, so he wasn't prepared to then change plans and go into the gym area and do weights, but he needed to train for his Scout High Adventure trip that he has this summer. So he hopped in the water with me and about 25 older women and did the water aerobics class. And it was lots of fun. It was a good way for us to spend a little time together. So often it feels like we don't get to spend fun time together, enjoyable time. We're having to get through the schoolwork or stay on top of whatever else needs to be done. So it was a good opportunity to see a positive out of something that was unexpected. So that was pretty cool. And he worked harder than he probably would have if he had swam laps. So the other women all wear belts to help them float and stay on top. I do not, and I wouldn't let him since I don't. So he had to work to stay up. So I think he had ended up with a good strength building workout yesterday, and we had some good time, and maybe he appreciates what I'm capable of a little bit more. So we're on yet another trail. This one's called Shady Trail. It's definitely quite tree covered. Quite a bit of green going on. They clearly haven't done a burn here for a while. But yeah, as I was thinking, we were doing about 4 different trails, but I think it's actually more like 6 or 7 different trails we're linking together. But a lot of them are like this though. They're very open. Well, this hike at a local nature preserve, I think this one's about 35 minutes from my house, just me and the dog today. It was not my plan for the weekend. It's what was the best option for what we had going on this weekend, and I so appreciate the time that I've had out here. It was time well spent. Good time in nature. So I'm thankful for it. So I'm also excited because I'm finishing before sunset, so I will not be locked in when they close the gates at sunset tonight. So that's a good thing. Oh, we found another orienteering marker. Definitely will have to check it out. So that's pretty far down too. Huh. It's nice to just stop and listen to the birds talking to each other. Very cool. So, hope you're making the most of your day and spend some time out in nature. Maintain that positive perspective and peace that we all need. I'll see you next time on the trail. Heart.